Most people believe the biggest investment lessons are learned early. They assume that once they understand stocks, markets, risk, and returns, they possess everything necessary for success. But the investment truth most people learn far too late is much simpler and much more important than any market strategy. The truth is that wealth is not built by finding extraordinary investments. Wealth is built by staying invested long enough for ordinary investments to become extraordinary. Unfortunately, most people discover this only after years of unnecessary mistakes. When people first begin investing, they often focus on excitement. They search for opportunities that promise rapid growth. They study the latest trends. They chase predictions. They look for shortcuts that might accelerate results. The financial world encourages this behavior. Every day there are headlines about stocks that doubled in value. There are stories about investors who became wealthy through a single decision. There are endless predictions about what will happen next. As a result, many investors develop the belief that success depends on finding the next big opportunity. This belief creates a dangerous distraction because while investors search for extraordinary opportunities, they often ignore the ordinary habits that actually create wealth. The truth most people learn far too late is that consistency matters more than excitement. A person who invests consistently for 20 years frequently achieves better results than someone who spends 20 years chasing perfect opportunities. The difference is not intelligence. The difference is behavior. Behavior determines whether compounding has enough time to work. Compounding is often described as one of the most powerful forces in finance. Yet many investors never experience its full benefits. Not because compounding fails, because they interrupt it. They stop investing during difficult periods. They change strategies repeatedly. They panic during market declines. They become impatient during slow growth. Every interruption weakens the process. Every interruption reduces future potential. This is why time is far more valuable than most investors realize. Many people focus entirely on return percentages. They compare investments based on annual performance. They search for slightly better results. Meanwhile, they overlook the factor that often matters most: time. Time allows growth to accumulate. Time allows temporary setbacks to recover. Time allows compounding to accelerate. Time transforms modest contributions into substantial wealth. The investors who understand this early possess an enormous advantage. They stop trying to predict every market movement. They stop searching for perfection. Instead, they focus on remaining invested. Another truth learned too late is that emotional control often matters more than financial knowledge. People assume investing is primarily an intellectual challenge. In reality, it is often an emotional challenge. Most investors know what they should do. They know they should stay disciplined. They know they should think long-term. They know they should avoid emotional decisions. The difficulty is not knowledge. The difficulty is execution. When markets rise rapidly, greed appears. When markets decline sharply, fear appears. Both emotions encourage poor decisions. Greed encourages excessive risk. Fear encourages unnecessary selling. Successful investors learn to recognize these emotions without allowing them to control behavior. Many people spend years learning this lesson. Some never learn it at all. Another investment truth most people discover too late is that income alone rarely creates financial freedom. High income certainly helps, but income without investing often leads nowhere. Many people spend decades increasing earnings while neglecting ownership. Their lifestyle expands alongside their income. Expenses rise. Consumption increases. Financial obligations multiply. Despite earning more, wealth fails to grow proportionally. Investors understand something different. They understand that income is only the beginning. Income creates opportunity. Investments create growth. Assets create wealth. Ownership creates freedom. Without ownership, even large incomes can disappear quickly. With ownership, money begins working independently. This distinction changes entire financial futures. One of the most expensive lessons investors learn late involves market declines. Most people initially view market declines as threats. They see falling prices and assume danger. They focus on losses. They become cautious. Experienced investors eventually learn a different perspective. They recognize that declining prices can also create opportunities. When quality assets become cheaper, future return potential often improves. The problem is that this truth is emotionally difficult to accept. Fear dominates attention during downturns. opportunities become difficult to see. Only later do many investors realize that some of the best opportunities appeared precisely when confidence was lowest. By then, the moment has often passed. This pattern repeats throughout financial history. The truth remains unchanged. The market frequently rewards patience when patience feels most difficult. And this is exactly why so many people learn the most valuable investment lessons far too late. Because these lessons often become visible only after experience has already provided the evidence.